Governor Ron DeSantis continues to downplay the rise in confirmed coronavirus cases in the state, saying more asymptomatic young people are being tested.
Joining us now to provide some context to the latest numbers is Dr. Aileen Marty. She is an infectious disease expert who works at FIU. Dr. Marty, great to have you with us again tonight. Let's begin with what concerns you most about one of the rising rates of infection.
Thank you for that question, Francis, and good evening to you and Elliot. What concerns me the most is that it's not just an artifact of testing, and it's not just something going on with asymptomatic individuals, because we're having more people coming to hospital and having to be admitted, and even some increase in ICU admissions. So it's a real increase that's going on in our community. And it's a reality check for all of us. We have to go back and recognize the reality that this virus is among us, and it is still eager to spread from host to host, and that we have to take those actions to prevent the virus from getting its way.
But the governor keeps repeating that the reason we're seeing more cases is because we're doing more testing, and so those of us who really don't know as much as the experts do, it sounds reasonable. Are you saying that there's more to it than that?
There is more to it than that, and I think that we shouldn't downplay it. We should let people know that this is a serious virus. The fact that we are detecting more asymptomatic cases because we finally got around to doing something we should have done in the first place, which is to test the asymptomatic close contacts so as to isolate those people and quarantine their contacts. That's a very important thing that we're doing, but you have to understand that studies are showing that these asymptomatic people are asymptomatic because their immune response to the virus is weak. And these people have very high viral loads and easily can spread it to others. So that's a very serious concern. And a study just came out today, a very careful, excellent study that shows that these asymptomatic people not only don't have a good immune response, but what antibodies they do develop vanish in 2 to 3 months. And that means that they can be reinfected, and maybe the next time they'll have a different reaction and they may end up in the hospital as well.
Yeah, that's definitely new. And officials have also pointed to hospitalizations. What do the raw numbers tell us as we see the median age of people infected trending younger? I've also heard some people say that, we're not hearing numbers about the recovery rate. Dr. Marty?
Well, part of that has to do with the way that the information has spread about this virus. So younger people are more likely to be out and about, in part because they feel automatically protected by their age from the worst risks of this disease. And they need to understand that where they may not have serious symptoms, they can spread it to more vulnerable members of our population, people with underlying conditions and people that are elderly. So that's a huge problem. And the fact that it's these younger people that are showing up positive now is clearly a reflection of our different behavior. Older people and people with underlying conditions know they're at risk and they're behaving appropriately.
Is it past time to consider another lockdown, do you think?
It's not a moment yet to do another lockdown. What it is, it's a wake-up call. It's a, hey guys, we have to do the physical distancing, we have to wear our masks, we have to do the hygiene, we have to do the respiratory etiquette as appropriate, and we can't mess around with the rules. We spent months developing these new normal guidelines, knowing how the virus is transmitted and using the science and doing a risk assessment for every kind of business. If we follow those protocols, if we don't ignore them, we can have an open economy and also reduce the rates of our sick from COVID-19. And that's what we need to do very seriously right now.
We'd like to see that. Dr. Marty, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.